Hey scholars, so today is our last day to review telling time. So I want to review parts of our clock and telling time for our o'clock when our minute hand's at the 12 and the 30 when our minute hand's at the 6. So let's get started with our review. So we've been talking about telling time, and on the clock right here we have our two hands, the hour hand, which is the shorter hand, and then the minute hand, which is our longer hand. And when we're telling time, we always look for the hour hand first, because that's the first number we write on our clock. And the hour hand goes with the red numbers on the clock, these big numbers, the 1 through 12. But when we're talking about our minute hand, if you notice and look closely, there's numbers that are in blue. And for our minutes, we don't just say that the minute is 1, we say that it's 5. We're counting by fives because this would be 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5. Then we go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our minutes deal with the blue part. So if our hand is on the 1, we count by fives. It's 5. So this time would be 9:05. If it moves to the 2, then it's 9:10. Minute hands on the 3, 9:15. On the 4, 9:20. Then it goes to 9:25, 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:45, 9:50, 9:55. And then when we get back to the 12, then it becomes our next hour, which our next hour would be 10 o'clock. And notice our hands, they don't stay still on the clock. They're always moving. And as the minute is moving, the hour hand is moving as well to get closer to the next hour. So it was 10 o'clock, now it's getting closer, so it can be 11 o'clock. And we've talked about whenever our minute hand's at the 12, it's our o'clock, or we put the 00. So we have 11 o'clock. We have 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So whenever our minute hand's at the 12, we do our o'clock or our 00. We then started talking about our minute hand down at the 6, which is our 30. So when we count by our fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, this is our 30. And notice our hour hand, it's between our numbers. So it's not right on 1 or 2. It's in between, because remember, our hour hand's moving to get closer to the next number. So when it's between, we look to see that it's past the 1. It didn't reach the 2 yet, so we're going to choose it's 1 for our hour, and then when our hand's at the 6, it's 30. So this time says 1:30. Or our other way that we've talked about this was saying half past, because our hand is halfway around the clock, and our hour hand is halfway between our two numbers. So this would be half past 1 o'clock. So you have a different way to say this. So you can either say 1:30, or you can also say half past 1 since it's halfway around. So let's do a couple examples of our digital clock, and then you can get started on your review. So again, we had our half past that we're going to be working with. So our hour hand is between our two numbers. So we choose the first number, it's 8, it's after the 8. And then we have our minute hand is at the 6, which is our 30. So it says 8:30, or we can say half past 8. So here we go with our 3 examples for today. So we have our hour is first, and then our minute. So this digital clock says what? Right, it says 12:30. And if we want to draw our analog clock, our hour hand goes between the 12 and the 1. It goes after our 12, which is our hour. And then our minute hand for the 30 goes down to the 6. So we can either say 12:30, or we can say it our other way, which is our half past 12, because it's halfway after. It's halfway around the clock. Okay, here's our next digital clock. So our hours first and then our minutes. So this clock says what? Right, it says 9:30. And then if we have our analog clock to match, my hour hand, I'm going to put it past my 9 because it's not 9 o'clock anymore. So it goes past the 9, and then my minute hand is at the 6. So we can say either 9:30 or what's our other way since we're at the 30? Right, we could say half past 9. And we have one more time to go. So we have our hour here and our minutes. So this digital clock says what now? Right, it says 6:30. And to match it with our analog clock, my hour hand goes past the 6, and then my minute hand is on the 6 for the 30. So we can either say 6:30 or we can say, right, half past, and then our hour is 6. So today you're going to continue with reviewing telling time on your own. Remember, if you're drawing your hands, the hour hand should be smaller than the minute hand so people are able to tell which one you're talking about. So when they're reading the clock, they know, oh, the shorter hand, that's the hour, that's what I read first. Because if you have them the same length, it's going to be hard for people to tell which one's the hour and which one's the minute. Can't wait to see your work.